Welcome to Thursday, August 12th, 2021. We're going to have some thunderstorms returning to the region here in the next few days. We're going to then see some heat coming in over parts of the weekend, then some cooling coming our way next week, and it could be significant cooling as changes are coming. Temperatures are going to be slightly cooler through Friday, just slightly, mainly along and east of the divide, but enough to take a little bit of the edge off the heat. Monsoon moisture is going to resurge in some areas, going to be resurgent over this next 2 to 3 days, especially over the desert southwest, but some of the Rockies and High Plains will have a brief resurgence of the monsoon. Then we're going to get very warm this weekend through Monday. We're going to see desert heat get pushed in and temperatures will spike, but it will be a brief spike because a significant change is coming midweek next week. The type of change that signals that summer is winding down. We'll talk about that here in a moment. Here's the water vapor satellite image from this morning. You can see kind of a hodgepodge of more moist air. Here's that monsoonal moisture coming out of Mexico, getting up into this area here. So this is the area that's going to be most active with thunderstorms here over the next day or two. Some of this moisture will get a little bit more north and east here in the coming days, but we also have this orange and red, which means some drier air and streaks of dry air in between layers of higher humidity air coming in from the Pacific Northwest. We're going to see in the coming days this kind of get mixed up and turned around a little bit as the weather pattern changes. I wanted to show you this satellite image. It may be a little bit hard to see, but this is a satellite image that tries to detect areas of heat. And this really basically shows you where the bigger fires are burning right now in western United States and western areas of Canada. It doesn't mean this is where all the fires are. This is where the ones that are the hottest and also where the satellite is able to see in clear skies or through the clouds a little bit. We can see we've got a fire here in north central Washington. We can see in British Columbia up here, we've got several fires up there. And then, of course, the Northern California fires really showing up in Northern California on the overnight satellite imagery. But you can see that we don't have nearly as many red spots in Idaho and Montana. Now, part of that is because some of the cloudiness last night maybe have covered up some of those things, but there has been some slight improvement. If we were to look at the smoke map, we can see that the smoke is becoming a little bit more dispersed and a little bit more segmented with the deeper plumes not as well connected. We have some fire activity east of Billings that's putting out some smoke. Some grass fires in western Nebraska have popped up. And then you can see the source region of those fires that the satellite picked up there in British Columbia and also especially here in Northern California. The Northern California fire is really the big smoke makers right now, as we don't have nearly as much smoke being generated in Montana as that we've had here lately. And hopefully with the weather pattern changes coming, that will continue to help. This is where we are today. High pressure just off the coast of Washington and Oregon, and where you always see this pink and these brighter red colors, that's where the heat is. So there's going to be plenty of warmth in this area right here. But as we go forward, you're going to see the jet stream making some adjustments. Right now, you could say that the jet stream, the main jet stream flow is going here, right here, getting some more loops and getting some more dips, getting more amplified, we would call it. And as you go deeper into August and into September, you get that amplification. The dips and the curves get a little bit more intense. Moisture-wise, this is the forecast today, as of this morning, for where the deeper moisture is. And you can see we have a wedge of dryness across Utah, Colorado, into western Nebraska and western Kansas. And then we've got this higher humidity air, actually pretty high humidity, really. There are actually some rain showers west of San Francisco this morning. And there is some more moisture there, mainly just higher relative humidity. But that higher relative humidity air will help here with the fire activity. It's not going to rain there, but higher humidity. Here is the deeper subtropical moisture that is going to have a chance to get pulled up. Unfortunately, last time we had this deep monsoonal moisture flow that got all the way up into here, but it's going to fall short of that, getting to about Interstate 80. Is where the deeper moisture is going to make it here in the coming days. If we were to do the rainfall forecast through Sunday afternoon, this is through Sunday afternoon, look at that bullseye in New Mexico. that is actually showing the potential of 8 inches of rain. I doubt that's going to happen, but you can just see that the deeper monsoonal moisture is going to produce significant rains in southern areas of Arizona, southern areas of New Mexico, but there will be some northern extent of that subtropical air, enough of it to get showers and thunderstorms to come on up. We're hoping that parts of western Nebraska, northeastern Colorado, and western Kansas can get into the act here. That area really dry. I think there is going to be some help on the way for those areas. But you can see that there's not a very far northern extent of the subtropical moisture. It's New Mexico and Arizona and parts of southwest Colorado that will see the bigger rain possibilities. But if you are planning outdoor activities, tomorrow and Saturday, there's going to be afternoon and evening thunderstorms. I think probably Sunday as well, and this will be especially true in the mountain areas. Now, let's take a look at these changes coming next week, and they are impressive. Yesterday's podcast talked about the establishment of high pressure more into the Gulf of Alaska and extending more northward, which then opens the door for the jet stream to take a dip into the western United States. And this is by Tuesday afternoon. We have a low up here in north central Canada and a pretty vigorous cold front dragging along that low with another low back up here. As long as the high stays in the Gulf of Alaska, the jet stream is going to want to dip into the western United States before curving back up again. So basically, just think of this as a door. When high pressure builds in the Gulf of Alaska, the door is open to western Canada. So we're going to see a much cooler flow of air from the Pacific Northwest into the northern Rockies and the northern plains, really starting late Tuesday, and really it's going to be noticeable Wednesday into Thursday. We could have some timing changes. It may not be till Thursday. It could be as early as Tuesday night or Wednesday. That's something that we've got to sort out. But our confidence is growing that these changes are coming. Now, this is Tuesday. This is by next Saturday. Notice, well, you still have this high pressure here. It's still not moving. We've got this low up here in the Aleutians that actually is going to come back down on the back side of this. So basically what this shows that is that the second half of August is not going to be as hot as the first half of August. Now, it doesn't mean there won't be warm days. There will be, but the pattern is changing for sure. Kind of getting out of the summer doldrums we've been in here for the last several weeks where it's just been persistent high pressure, things getting more busy. Look at these temperatures relative to average by noon Wednesday. So anywhere you see blue, green, or purple, temperatures are below their normal, 30-year normals for that time of day, noon on Wednesday. You can see out ahead of the system, a lot of very warm air gets pushed into eastern Canada, but look at a large swath of the U.S. is going to be cooler than normal by noon on Wednesday, with the bullseye of the cool right here, but also getting into the desert southwest and along the north slope of Alaska, parts of northern areas of British Columbia. This should help out with the forest fire activity there with cooler temperatures, higher humidity, and better chances of precipitation. This front will drag through showers and thunderstorms. So early to mid next week, shower and thunderstorm chances are going to go up. If we were to take this same map, but just focus in locally, those numbers you see is the deviation from normal. So at noon on Wednesday, Gillette, Wyoming will be 20 degrees below average. The Bighorns, 24 degrees below average. Cheyenne, 13 below average. You can see Denver around 10 to 12 to 18 degrees below average with temperatures. So that is certainly significant enough to notice. And if we were to convert that to what the temperatures would be at noon on Wednesday, look at these temperatures. These are like October temperatures. Look at 67 in Cheyenne, 61 in Casper, Sheridan at 58, only in the mid-60s at noon on Wednesday in the Bighorn Basin, 70s in the Panhandle. The heat still in southeast Colorado, but Salt Lake City, 70s. Now, as I say many, many times, this is a model, so you got to take it with a grain of salt. This is a tool. This shows us what the trend will be. I'm suspicious that temperatures are going to be this cold. But what I want to show you is that even if they aren't this cold, let's say they're wrong by 10 degrees, you're still looking at significantly cooler weather coming in the middle of next week. So for those of you that have been asking for and wanting a break in the summer heat, well, it's going to be here by Wednesday and Thursday of next week, and there's going to be some shower and thunderstorm activity with it as well. If we were to look at the 10-day precipitation forecast, boy, let's hope this happens, because if this happens, this will really help with that fire burning east of Billings. The fire, the Crater Ridge fire in the northern Bighorns will get some big help there as well. And as you can see up here in northwest Montana and eastern Idaho where those wildfires are, there's going to be some hope for some rain along with those cooler temperatures. And some of those cooler temperatures and higher humidity will also get into northern California, but their rain chances won't be as good. And also look at some of the rains in Nebraska and Kansas and Oklahoma up through the Dakotas, areas that really need it. So this will be a welcome change for many as we get to the middle of next week. A quick update. We just got this morning. This is the latest trajectory of the La Nina El Nino projections going through March, April, and May of next year. And basically what this is the new modeling showing where the sea surface temperatures are going in the Pacific. What the blue bar represents is the probability of La Nina. The red bars, the probability of an El Nino, and the gray bars basically represent the probability of somewhere in between a La Nina and El Nino. But boy, it's a slam dunk. It really is looking like it. Look at the probability of La Nina returning and peaking in November, December, and January. This is both bad news and good news. The bad news is everything really left of this line, because with the re-strengthening of La Nina, that remains to be a dry signature for the western United States and parts of the central United States. But the right side of this graph here is good news, because this indicates, and I think this is something that we're going to see in future projections, is that the probability of at least a weak El Nino as we get into the early part of April or May, I think we're going to see this increase and the La Nina decrease. The reason we say that is that historically, that's what we see after 2-year La Ninas. You see a rebound. So La Nina is going to come back before it fades. Have yourself a great Thursday, everybody. We'll talk to you tomorrow.